Good morning and welcome to Daily Red Devil for all of your latest Manchester United transfer news and talk. I hope everyone is doing well on this Tuesday morning. We're back with another massive show to bring you guys today. But before we jump into that, please smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let's get straight on into it. So on the show this morning, we are going to be reacting and discussing a story that broke last night that apparently Real Madrid are interested in signing both Garnacho and Rasmus Hojlund. We'll also be talking a bit about Manchester United's chances of getting top four, with apparently, I was watching something, I think it was on Sky Sports last night, and apparently there is now a 77% chance that fifth place will get Champions League football. So if we were to finish fifth this season, we would get Champions League football, and there's now a 77% chance that the fifth place will get Champions League football, if that makes sense. So we'll be talking about that. A little bit about Jeremy Frimpong. We've got some injury news for you on people like Luke Shaw. Lots and lots to get into, really. And as always, guys, I invite you to have your say on all things Manchester United in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts. And yeah, I always look forward to seeing what you guys have to say. So let's start off with some positivity then, shall we? The news on Luke Shaw is actually really, really positive. Apparently, he's going to be available for the game against Luton on Sunday. Apparently, he's back in training. The injury that occurred against Aston Villa, him coming off, was just a precaution. And apparently, he will be available for the game against Luton. So, really, really excited about that. I think Luke Shaw is a really, really important player for us. I would have been really, really disappointed if we'd have lost Luke Shaw, you know, because I think that left back position is one in really, really bad way at the moment, isn't it? Obviously, Malaysia's out injured. Wan-Bissaka's injured, so you know you're going to probably have either Lindelof or Amrabat playing there, which for me is just not good enough. So really, really happy. Luke Shaw is officially back in training today and will be available for selection for the game on the weekend. Let me know in the comment section how much of a boost do you think that is for Man United. I actually think it's huge. I really, really do, because having Amrabat at left back on Sunday against Luton, like, that's not going to do very well, in my opinion. Like, he did okay there. I can't remember what game it was, but there was a game earlier on in the season, wasn't there, where he played at left back and he did an all right job, but he's nothing on Luke Shaw. I think Luke Shaw and Marcus Rashford have a pretty good relationship when they play together. And, you know, even though Luton are at the bottom of the table, it's going to be a difficult game. You know, they beat Brighton, was it a couple of weeks ago, 4-0? They drew 4-4 with Newcastle. I watched that game. They played beautiful attacking football, Luton. Really, really good. They beat Everton away from home. I know people will say, oh, it's only Everton, but they've beaten some good teams recently. Obviously, the most impressive one being Brighton 4-0. So it's going to be a difficult match, and we need to be on our, you know, completely at our best. We really, really do. And I think that Luke Shaw being in that squad will massively improve our chances. So really happy that Luke Shaw's back. Massive boost for Man United. And, you know, obviously Martinez is going to be out for a while, but at least, you know, you can play Luke Shaw, Maguire, Varane and Dalot. And I'm happy with that. I think it's a decent back four. So yeah, really happy about that. But let me know what you guys think about that one. Right, let's talk a little bit about Rasmus Hojlund. So a story broke last night from a couple of really reliable Madrid journalists saying that apparently Madrid are interested in signing Rasmus Hojlund and Garnacho. Now, I personally don't think Rasmus Hojlund would ever move to Real Madrid, personally, because Manchester United is the club he supports since he was a child. You know, he's living his dream. Why would he want to leave? Whereas Garnacho, this is just my opinion, by the way. I do feel at some point Garnacho will leave Man United, and I think that Real Madrid probably would be the most likely destination. Obviously, we know that Cristiano Ronaldo is his idol. And I can almost see Garnacho following the same trajectory as Ronaldo, where he, you know, is at Man United for maybe three to 5 years. Maybe we win a couple of trophies with him. Maybe we end up winning a Premier League with him. And then he ends up moving to Real Madrid. Like, I just think that will happen. I think it's inevitable. It is sad because I really like Garnacho. I think he's a quality player. I really, really do. And I would never want him to leave Man United. But I just have this feeling with him that, you know, he loves Ronaldo. Obviously, Ronaldo did the same thing. And I just, you know, if Real Madrid come knocking and you're Garnacho, I think he probably would leave. But obviously, I don't think this is going to happen, you know, this transfer window. It'll probably be in, you know, the next kind of 3 to 5 years if he continues to perform the way he is. But yeah, it is a bit worrying. But at the end of the day, it shows how good these two players are performing. That, you know, Real Madrid, who are at the moment one of the best teams in the world and have been for a long time, are circling for him, you know. So it is positive, and it shows that we have got some exciting players in our squad. You know, it gives us a bit of something to be excited about, because it has been a bit of a miserable kind of 6 or so months with the football we've been playing. And I think Rasmus Hojlund and Garnacho are a breath of fresh air for this squad, you know. Garnacho's having his breakout season. He's a first team player now. Rasmus Hojlund's a first team player. One of them's 19, one of them's just turned 21. And, you know, if we can keep them for at least, you know, the next 5 years, I think the future does look quite bright, especially when you consider people like Kobe Mainoo as well. You know, we've got some good young players coming through. And if in the summer we buy more youth, whether that's Todibo, I think he's 23, maybe you go and get, you know, Evan Ferguson in the next few years, like, we could be sorted for the next kind of 10 or so years. So let's just hope that, you know, this Real Madrid link is maybe a bit premature and they're just keeping an eye on him. That's kind of what the story said, you know, that they're keeping an eye on him and they're very interested in him. Obviously, we know Real Madrid are going to go all out for Kylian Mbappe. Is there a world where they don't get Kylian Mbappe? Maybe. But yeah, I don't think it's anything to worry about immediately. But, you know, it is a story that broke, you know, saying that they are being monitored. And yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens with that one. But for me, I wouldn't let either of those players go, you know? Like, obviously, I'm not going to say never. If they're like 30 years old and are past it, then maybe you let them go. But when they're both 19 and 21, they could honestly be at Man United for the next 10 years, easily. But anyway, let's move on from that one. Let's see what people are saying in the chat this morning. Active912 says, if Real Madrid give us 300 million, they can have them. Yeah. James says Garnacho, Hojlund and Greenwood could end up at Madrid. Yeah, potentially. Stephanie says Madrid want Benzema replacement. They long-term want Erling Haaland, hands off Rasmus, media mischief making up again. Yeah. I mean, there is obviously the story circulating that supposedly Real Madrid are going to go in for Erling Haaland as well. We know that they desperately need a striker. Obviously, yeah, as somebody said in the chat, you know, Benzema recently left. They never really replaced him. Yeah. Hendrik says Garnacho will probably leave in 5 years for 150 million, but I don't think Hojlund will ever leave. I kind of agree with you there, mate. I think Hojlund is at the club of his dreams. You know, why would he, you know, leave Manchester United when this is his boyhood club? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Like, for me, those two players are our future, and I wouldn't sell them by any means whatsoever. Yeah. Right, let's talk a little bit about Jim Ratcliffe quickly. So apparently the Premier League have now approved Jim Ratcliffe's 25% stake in Manchester United, and it says that all that now remains is approval from the FA. So we should get the official announcement. I mean, it seems crazy that we're still talking about this, but, you know, Jim Ratcliffe still hasn't technically even bought the 25% yet. It's not official. You know, he was obviously waiting for the approval from the shareholders. That's been now approved. He was waiting for the approval from the Premier League. That's now been approved, apparently. And now he's just waiting for approval from the FA. So probably next week, I imagine, we'll get this big announcement saying, here's Jim Ratcliffe. He'll probably do some sort of interview. Yeah, and hopefully then we can actually start getting things moving forward with, you know, the director of football, you know, head of recruitment. Like, hopefully we start getting lots of announcements coming in those kind of, you know, next few weeks. But obviously I'll keep you updated as and when we get more stories and that. But as it stands, the Premier League have officially approved Jim Ratcliffe's 25% stake in Manchester United. And this is on the official SEC website. So this is, yeah, it's official. It's not like, you know, somebody on Twitter trying to make up a story. This is on the official American Securities and Commissions website. So it is, you know, it is legit. Mr. C says Garnacho is a product from Atletico Madrid, so I would not count on the Madrid link. Also, both players are seen as reliable plan B options for Madrid if they don't get the plan A's. All of what I've said is true. Okay. Benjamin says we need Hojlund and Garnacho to build our team for the future. Yeah, 100%, mate. Fred says if we start winning trophies, there's no need for these starlets to leave. Yeah, of course. You know, there's loads of ifs and buts, isn't there, with Manchester United? If as you said, we start winning Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues, then why would these people want to leave? They wouldn't. At the moment, we struggle to get rid of people because nobody wants to go. But that's just because most of the players are average and getting paid stupid amounts of money. Like, nobody wants to leave Man United. Everyone's just happy to earn the crazy money and effectively win nothing, which is not really a good mentality to be spreading at a club. But that's something that we hope Jim Ratcliffe, Omar Barada, all of these other people involved are going to hopefully rectify. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens with that one. Right, so obviously we've talked about Rasmus Hojlund, we've talked about Garnacho. Let's talk a little bit about this Champions League thing then. So I was watching a really interesting video last night where I think it was on Sky Sports, and they were saying that apparently there's a 77% chance that top 5, so the 5th place in the Premier League, will get Champions League football this season. It's quite complicated to all work out. It's to do with how well the English teams do in Europe. Obviously, West Ham have qualified, Brighton have qualified, Aston Villa have qualified, Arsenal have, Liverpool have, Man City have. So far, I think all of the English teams, apart from Manchester United, have qualified for the next round of the Champions League or the Europa League or the Conference League, right? And as a result of that, as it stands at the point of recording this video, there's now a 77% chance that whoever finishes 5th in the Premier League will get Champions League football next season, which is crazy. It is positive, isn't it? Obviously, they're introducing more teams to the Premier League. We still have to get the points, though, Like, it's not a given. It's not like we're sat in 5th, 10 points ahead of 6th, and we're saying happy days. We still have to catch up with Aston Villa, which I think is realistic. I think we can do it. If you look at Aston Villa's next few games, they've got Fulham away from home, which will be difficult for them. They're not very good away from home, Aston Villa. Then they've got Nottingham Forest, which I would imagine they'll win. Then they've got Luton away. Again, they're not very good away, so I imagine that'll be difficult. Then they've got Tottenham at home, which is a massive game for us. Obviously, if that was a draw or one of the teams was to lose, that would be a really, really big result for us. And then they play West Ham away, and then they play Wolves, and then Man City away. And they play Arsenal away, and they play Brighton away. They've got some really, really tough games coming up, Aston Villa, and I think they will drop points between now and the end of the season. And I think effectively we will get 5th in the end. Obviously, if we were to win our game on the weekend and Aston Villa were to lose, we'd only be 2 points behind them, which is crazy, So we've just got to really, really focus on that. Focus on just winning each game and hope that the teams above us drop points. I think they both will. Obviously, Aston Villa are in Europe as well. Hendrik says, Kieran, which positions do you think we need to strengthen the most? So for me personally, I said this on a video a couple of days ago. My dream summer window would be this. It would be Jeremy Frimpong. It would be Frankie de Jong or someone like that, as the kind of centre midfielder. It would be Jean-Claire Todibo or somebody like that, Antonio Silva, Edmund Tapsoba, somebody like that, right? A centre-back. And I would also go and get a young striker as well, whether that's a Benjamin Sesko, Gonzalo Ramos, somebody kind of in their early 20s who can, grow and learn with Rasmus Hojlund. Those would be like my 4 priority positions, a full-back, so a right-back or a left-back. Ideally somebody who can play on both sides. Obviously Dalot can play at left back as well, so you could easily move Dalot over to left back when Luke Shaw's injured, and then maybe have Jeremy Frimpong as the right back, which I think would be quality. Jean-Claire Todibo, Edmund Tapsoba, Antonio Silva, someone like that for the centre back position, and then Frankie de Jong again, or somebody like that, or and a striker. So yeah, for me it's 4 positions we desperately need to fill. Obviously we probably need a winger as well, but I think at the moment we're quite stacked in those positions. You've got Ahmad, you've got Pellistri. Obviously, we've got to do something with Sancho. Got to do something with Greenwood. You've got Rashford. You've got Mason Mount can play there. You've got Garnacho, Anthony. You've got about 7 or 8 players who can play on the wing at the moment. Whereas if you look at our wing back and our left back, we've got Malacia and Luke Shaw. Both of them are injury prone. You've got Wan-Bissaka who's going to leave, and then Dalot. So for 2 positions, right back, left back, you've only got 4 options. Malacia, Wan-Bissaka, Dalot, or Luke Shaw, right? So you've got 4 options at the moment. Malacia, I don't know what's happened to him. He's fallen off the face of the earth. Luke Shaw's injury prone, and Wan-Bissaka's leaving. So really, you only have one person in the right back / left back position that you can fully rely on. Whereas if you look at the left back, if you look at the left wing and the right wing, you've got, as I said, Rashford, Pellistri, Ahmad, Sancho, Anthony, Garnacho. There's somebody else. There's another one as well I'm missing, but you get where I'm going with this. We've got like double the amount of players in the wing positions versus what we have in the right back / left back position. Big ups to Fred, who has just gifted £5 to the channel. Thank you so much for your support, my friend. He says, keep the great content going onwards and upwards. Thank you very much, my friend. I hope you're doing well. But yeah, guys, let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section, what do you think our priority signings are this summer? You know, do we need a right back? Do we need a left back? Let me know. I always like to see what other United fans are thinking because, you know, at the end of the day, football is a game of opinions, okay? Everyone has differing opinions and it's always interesting to see what other United fans are feeling. That was the reason I started this channel, just to start conversation with other United fans. So make sure you get in the comment section and let me know what your thoughts are, what positions we need to strengthen, who do you think you should go? I'm always interested to see. Okay, cool. Let's go back. Everyone who's just joined, by the way, please smash a like on the video. It doesn't cost any money. Let's try and see 100 likes on today's show. So give it a quick like. Doesn't cost you any money. Other than that, it's mainly, you know, today's going to be focused on training. I think there's an open training session, so there's lots of photos appearing on the internet this morning of the players in training. Obviously, with the big headline being that Luke Shaw is in training, which is super, super positive. Really, really happy about that. I think Erik ten Hag will speak to the press on Friday. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. I'm going to wrap the video up here, guys. That's everything we had planned for today's show. I hope everyone has a great day. I will be back at about 6 p.m. UK time today. If you have enjoyed today's video, please do smash a like on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. This has been Daily Red Devil. Have a great day, everyone, and I'll speak to you all later.